Oh. Hi there, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name's Frederick Weller and today I'm going to talk about the spell Fireball. Now that's a crowd controlled spell. Now this is one of the better spells out there. This is part of my Dungeons & Dragons 5e video spell series, and you can find Fireball on page 241 of the Player's Handbook. Fireball is a 3rd level spell. It is an evocation spell, so you create an elemental effect, and probably one of the most iconic spells is Fireball in Dungeons & Dragons. It has a casting time of 1 action, which means you can't cast a bonus action spell in the same round, and you can't make an attack with your weapon in the same round either. You can just cast the Fireball, but that should be enough, really. It has a range of 150 feet. It has a verbal, somatic and material component, which means you speak a few arcane words, you perform a magical gesture, and you pull out a tiny ball of bat guano and a small piece of sulfur. If you're wondering what is bat guano, it's basically bat poo. It is instantaneous. A bright streak flashes from your fingertips to a point you have chosen within range, and then blossoms with a low roar into an explosion of flame. Each creature in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point must make a dexterity saving throw. The target takes 8d6 fire damage on a failed save, and half that damage if it succeeds on the save. So that means no matter what happens, they're going to take a lot of damage. This fire spreads around corners. It ignites flammable objects in an area that isn't being worn or carried. The wizard centers Fireball on a point, not a square, that encompasses as many orcs as possible. This is a really good crowd control spell. The circle with the black mark indicates where the spell actually falls, and as long as a miniature falls within half of that area, it is affected by the spell. So if I had a miniature that was not quite halfway in, it would not be affected. But if it was halfway or more in that area, it's affected by the spell. So that means that there are a lot of orcs that need to make a lot of saves. Every single orc here has a save of +1, which is not very much. The magical DC for the spell, for this wizard, is 13. So they have to get a 13 or more to save. So you roll a dice for each orc, and they have +1 to each roll. Okay, so with +1 we have a 4. That's a fail. A 13. That's a save. Another 13. Saves. A 1 becomes a 2. That's definitely going to fail. A 6, because I roll a 5, so you add 1 to that. 20, so that's 21. A 14 becomes 15. And 10 plus 1 becomes 11. So, 1 fail, 1 success, 1 success, fail, fail, success, success, and fail. So, an awful lot of damage is going to suddenly occur. You're going to have to roll 8 6-sided dice. Isn't that awesome? Here we go. So the damage for that is 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 5 plus 1 plus another 1 plus 6 and plus 2, and we add that up, 26, 28. So the fireball does 28 fire damage. Now those that failed take 28 fire damage and pretty much are going to get cooked because orcs don't have that many hit points. But those that saved will only take half that damage, so that's 14 fire damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4 orcs are going to get incinerated. They are now destroyed, burnt to a crisp. Fireball becomes more powerful at higher levels. So when you cast the spell at a spell slot of 4 rather than 3, you get to add another 6-sided dice to your damage. Not like 8 wasn't enough. And if you cast it at a higher level again, you get another 6-sided dice worth of damage. Fireball is a huge advantage to any party who has it, because it can deal with huge crowds of monsters and other enemies. Now, if you found this video helpful, and I hope you have, please share, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make a comment below if you have any questions about Fireball, and I will answer those questions. And if there's anything I did not say that I needed to during that video, please leave a comment so I know about it. And until next time, keep rolling those 20s.